on to our next topic, which is my topic, and I'm just going to put this in the simplest way I can. Games that baby you too much and walk you through it too much. They don't let you just kind of play and figure it out. It's just like, here's the directions, you're pressing A. It's like, Jesus Christ, or X, or just whatever it is. And you just can't...
Press off the pay respects.
No, but it's just like, okay, just let me play.
Order 1886.
What?
Order 1886.
Actually,
I thought you said
I've never played it.
Never played it
Me
either.
neither.
Every other game that's come out in the past 10 years. No, I'm just kidding.
Really? I mean, it is a lot.
That's a joke, but honestly...
It's kind of the truth, and we're going to go in on this topic.
Okay.
Okay, so basically, the first thing that pops into my head is Nintendo.
Super Mario Galaxy.
Yeah, like, we were just playing Super Mario Galaxy.
Yes.
And what frustration did you have, Miss?
Okay, so... I was just like, okay, and you can't even skip to make it even read faster. It's like, okay, this is for someone that reads incredibly slow, which is fine. It's fine if you read slow, but okay, you're slowing everybody else down.
Get on
like,
with it.
Come on. And be like, oh no, this is happening. Like, oh Jesus, okay, put this in the start scene where I can skip it. Like, yeah, I don't care.
It's it's cutesy exposition for the point of teaching the player how to play when it's like unnecessary bullshit.
And you could learn on your own.
Yeah.
Which, you know what, I should take this back because I just figured out that you could use the actual remote to get I was gonna say the blue star to like collect the gem thing or whatever.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that before. I only know that because I went up to somebody and talked to them.
Mm-hmm. So that's cool.
Yeah, but
that's
why couldn't that have been in the directions? Why did I have to be talking to somebody? Why did I have to have those directions of 8 minutes of okay, all right, okay, I don't care anymore.
Yeah, that's a huge issue with like a lot of games. What's the game that's coming out recently where I just read on NeoGAF that if you go on easy mode, like the game is going to make fun of you. And I don't remember what game this is. Yeah, like they will make it a point to let you know that you're a pussy and you're taking the easy way.
Oh my God.
It's not Doom,
It's not Doom.
My best friend plays every game on
It's coming out?
I want to say, I honestly thought it was Dishonored 2. But I'm not 100% sure if it's Dishonored 2.
Really?
Yeah, and I can't remember because we were talking about Dishonored 2 a week ago, and I went and read up about it a little bit.
I can't imagine it being Dishonored 2, though, because there's so many.
There is a game. When I find it, which I will, I'll put it on the screen so that way everyone can see it. But there is a game that's coming out, and they are like basically like, yeah, if you play this in like the easiest mode possible, then like the game is going to make.
Why even make an easy mode?
It's
for humor. I don't know.
There is reason, I guess, to have it for review purposes to some degree.
Reviewing purposes, and then a lot of times, like, I know a ton of people who are like, I don't have time to sit and do all this shit.
Yeah.
I play easy mode for the story.
Yeah.
And I totally respect that. I get that.
Yeah.
If you're legitimately like, I just really like the story of this, I get it.
Which is weird because it's complete polar opposite for me, because what I did was, it's like, when Uncharted 4 came out, like, I'm playing this on the hardest difficulty possible. Like, I didn't want to play it on normal. Like, I wanted.
Game's already kind of.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but it was so much fun. Like, I had it was so challenging. I have
Did you have
fun.
To keep restarting?
I died. There were some parts where it was a little more challenging, but it forces you to have to think and figure out how to beat certain parts. And like that's what I've always liked about like games like Halo, where it's like it gives you the opportunity to start on heroic. You play through heroic.
Yeah, and did you notice actually in Uncharted 4? I don't know if you noticed this. This hasn't happened to me, but I know somebody it happened to. They were stuck on a puzzle for so long. It was like, do you want to just skip this? And then they were like, no! But I can't believe that was even an option. You should be like, no, Google it if you can't figure it out. Don't let the game bypass
the
it.
hard mode won't let you do that. It will give you subtle cues if you're staring at something too long. So, for example, when you're looking at all the paintings of the pirates, then like there was one where I could not find it at all, and I was there for probably about 20 minutes just looking.
You turn it?
Yeah, it's like you have to go back and then you turn it.
Yeah,
but then you go back into the room and you look at the painting.
Yeah,
and
you have to write it in the note though to remember.
He writes it.
But you still have to find the initials.
But you still have to find it on the painting, and you have to like look around until you see.
So is it harder? It is harder for those puzzles on.
I think so. I think so.
I think
they do. Yeah.
Getting back to like kind of the main focus of the topic, I think Uncharted is a good example of like give and take with it, because like some of the puzzles in that game are really, really good. Some of them are really, really easy, but like that one specifically, I really enjoyed that puzzle. And it kind of, without telling you this is what you do, from visual cues, like him opening the book and putting stuff in it and writing, like you figure out this is how I'm supposed to do this.
That, or you can go back into the book and refer to it.
Exactly. You know, and it makes sense. Like you start to put pieces together and it makes sense.
Yeah.
And it's better than clicking through something. like this is how you do it.
And it wasn't incredibly obvious.
Yeah,
because it was very nice.
There was a point in Uncharted where like that animation would not have been there, so it would have just been like you go and you see this, and then it's just automatically written down in this book, and like you obviously have to fill it in yourself.
Games without difficulties. We're just gonna. I think that's the best way to approach it, because you could say, well, on easy mode it's this way, on hard mode it's this way. I want to talk about games without difficulties and how they approach a specific conveyance of how the game's supposed to be played.
Is there something you're thinking of?
There's.
Well, I was wondering if there was something specifically you're thinking of. Obviously, there's a few.
You mentioned Mario Galaxy. Zelda. Wind Waker for the first hour you're learning how to play the game.
Yeah.
I mean, that's, I think that's like the best Zelda for many reasons, but you still have to learn the game. But there's games like Dark Souls, for example, where some people think like there's little to no conveyance. It doesn't tell you exactly what to do. Which is kind of true to some degree. But I truly appreciate that in gaming. It doesn't hold your hand, and this game makes sure like you are the sole controller of everything that happens.
Yeah.
And that is a game where I think I said this in one of the other ones. I've never felt a better sense of accomplishment in a video game than when I did something correctly in Dark Souls. When I found the right key or when I beat the specific boss, I feel invincible, like in real life.
Which is the same feeling that I kind of get when I play through like difficult modes on games and stuff like that.
Yeah, that makes sense. That totally makes sense.
You know what's interesting is the piggyback off that. The number one complaint I heard from No Man's Sky was the fact that people that
you don't know anything.
You don't know what to do.
I like that.
And I like that too. And like I even complained about it, but I went and put more time into the game and figured it out. And I understand that from like I work a 9-to-5 job, I have a kid, I have a wife, and whatnot. Okay, so some games aren't for you, but for as a whole, like if I think back to Ocarina of Time and how confused I was when I initially put that game in by N64, I had no clue what was going on at all.
Yeah,
and going back at that, like it's still if I forget some stuff, I'm like, wait, what do I do again? I don't remember what to do again, and it doesn't hold your hand, and like it feels so much more rewarding when you figure it out.
Exactly. Those games, Castlevania Symphony of the Night's like that. It's kind of like a treasure hunt, basically, for 90% of the games. You have to find all the pieces to get to the other castle and then kill the shit out of Dracula.
Yeah.
You got, there's that tier of gaming, I think, is very alive and well in indie gaming. And I know, like, that's, to talk about this subject and to bring in indie gaming, a lot of people are going to think about, if they know about it, there's an instance where Phil Fish, the guy that made Fez, after Indie Game the movie came out,
It's okay.
After Indie Game the movie came out, there was a conference that all of the developers of the game, so it would have been Phil Fish, Edmund and Tommy, who did Super Meat Boy, they all did this conference, and this Japanese developer came up and was like, what do you think of current Japanese games? And Phil Fish was like, I think they're fucking garbage. Straight to his face. And this was the reason.
Yeah.
What we're talking about. He said they baby you. They hold your hand too fucking much. And they
I'm surprised he just said that.
Phil Fish is a notorious dick.
Yeah, that's true. No one likes him. But I would say no one likes him.
He's a dick, and I'm not going to sugarcoat that either. He's heard it. He's not going to hear this.
Yeah. Watch Phil Fish retweets is like, this motherfucker, Brandon.
We'll put this on a CD. We'll mail it to him. But DVD.
You call me a dick. Episode 6.
It sucks.
In all fairness, I'm an asshole, not a dick.
Like, dude, no one's a total dick.
It sucks in a sense, but the indie gaming community really does focus on this wild, wild west feel of gaming.
What do you mean by that? Explain that.
So the way I think of the wild, wild west of gaming, whenever I think about that, I think about the NES. This is the time when games as home entertainment is novel. It's fresh. It's new. It's a big deal, and nobody knows what the hell to do about it. And they tried everything. They did everything in their power to make these games work and to make them playable. And indie games now, a good amount of them invoke this feeling, in my opinion. They don't baby you. They're like, well, let's do what we can. Let's throw you into this and make you feel like you did when you were a kid. And
Best.
What'd you say?
No, I'm just kidding. I remember just being angry as a kid because I didn't know what to do.
Pissed, yeah. I don't know. I think that's a good thing to come back to. that whole idea of the Wild Wild West of gaming and how that's a positive way of creating conveyance in games.